Absolutely. Pull up a chair, have a seat. Interesting discussion I have. Sometimes certain things fall on my lap, and I say, this would be good to discuss. Drew Titan Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC, this Painful Excellence podcast. Let's do this roll call real quick because I'm actually asking for an education. I want to see what my beautiful ladies know. If you're new here, welcome. I'm going to ask some questions and maybe you can educate me. Derek Gaines, the legend, my brother, salute. Sam Mack, Todd Swindle, Nicholas Levy, Rod Neal, Shaquilla Fields, salute. Shogun 76, The Audacity Podcast, salute. Joseph Curtis, Yashawn Benjamin, salute. Detroit native, Jimmy Bernard, $1 Trillion Dreams, salute. Smash the like button, like and share the video. DP Rock, what's going on? Jeff Spark in the building. What's going on, family? So let's get to it. Pinball player, salute. This isn't smoke. I'm just, let me tell you what happened. I'm going to tell you what happened. Sometimes, first of all, I'm a very creative person. I don't like doing reaction videos unless there's an absolute purpose. Lamont, what up? The only reaction video I did one Kevin Samuels reaction video because no one's done it. If you want to know what that video is, go to my channel with Painful Excellence Podcast and just put Kevin Samuels' name in there. You'll see a bunch of short videos. Now that I've done, I put short videos of him saying something when he's hitting the key point because I believe that message needed to get out. But I reacted to one portion of his live, and it was when he had to call out a young man for not understanding why he was in the position he was in life, and not understanding that it was actually his father's fault and not his mother's fault. And he also called out there being an issue with red pill spaces. They put a Black Martial Arts Society salute. I'm gonna send you a link in a minute. They find comfort where they feel like men, certain men that are in a certain place in their mind. Night Train salute. Where this young man in particular was mad at his mom, but it was misguided anger. The situation was actually his dad's fault. Yes, salute, Queen. And he literally had to break the kid down. And Joe Townsend, salute. And I heard it live that night. And I said, that's interesting. Where all the women saying that all he does is tear women down. And he didn't tear this kid down. He had to enlighten him because that kid's father didn't do the work. And I looked around, everyone's doing 1,000 Kevin Samuels reaction videos, and then the brother died, and then everybody started reacting to this stuff, running their numbers up. I like to do things twofold. This is a business and I am profitable here, but I also want to spread a message. And I also don't want to be like everybody else, which is why I don't do a bunch of reaction videos, but I did one to that because nobody else did it. And that to me was one of his more important shows, because he had to enlighten the young man on what life was about. His show is not about blaming women. Your fault. No, it may have seemed that way to a person that just caught him fly by night, but it wasn't about that. And he had to straighten that kid out, that young man. I reacted to that. But I'm trying to, I am different. And these shows that I do, it comes from the heart. And I'm actually trying to say things that could possibly help people in the long run. It's not my thing to play someone else's shower. Salute, Queen. to play someone else's content and then watch them and then elaborate on what they said. You know, it's a Stormy, salute. If you miss Nerds on Culture, go watch Rerun. We was talking about Spike Lee joint, She's Gotta Have It. And what we talked about here on Nerds on Culture with the character Nola Darling, it actually applies to the question I'm gonna ask tonight. I like to add to society. I'm not on here just doing what everyone else does. I ask questions and I want y'all to elaborate. You know, I've had, slight debates here on Pep Talk. You know what I mean? But I didn't want to be like everybody else. So I'm still on my journey and this is fun. I don't have the biggest channel, I don't have the smallest channel. But one thing you always say, what I do here, what I do on Bear Cave, which is coming back soon, and what I do on Drew Titan LLC is genuine. Tay Tay, good evening, Queen. It's genuine what I do. So let's get to it. I'm not the most super religious person, but I'm a believer. I've studied some religions, Islam, Christianity. Come on, my family's from the South, so you already know. So I was watching one of these panels one day on YouTube, and it's always a couple of guys on the stage and a couple of women on the stage, and it's like a and I'm not trying to disrespect anybody, but it's always the usual kind of characters. You have the thug on there that always got something smart to say. Then you got the dude with a little bit of muscles, he's the eye candy on the stage. Then you got the intellectual with the big beard, and he and then you got the characters of women, and it's the opposite over there. You have the intellectual woman, and then you got the woman that is loud and proud, but she got 8 different baby daddies, but she's overcome and she's a boss. And then you got the other chick just enabling whatever. And it's one big melee, and it makes for good ratings, and people cut a check and they go home, and I hope they can feed their families. It's been done. And I'm finding my rhythm, and I'm doing things a little different. It might start tonight, because you find things at certain parts of your life. Now I'm watching these panels. There was a bunch of them online, right? A bunch of them. And salute to all of them people that do that. Salute to them. I'm not talking bad about them. So I watched like 4 different shows, and I'm like, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Everyone's making valid points. The ladies make a point. The men make a point. Same thing, no solutions. More arguing. You look at the chat, the people are arguing, and women say men ain't ish. The men say women ain't ish, and everybody's hurting, and we all know hurt people hurt people. So when you have anger, frustration, complete disarray, you have anarchy. And I remember just sitting back thinking, can you imagine this world without the fear of God? There's a lot of people that would go off the deep end and be in a dark place if there was no fear of God. There's a lot of people, some of your most potentially violent people are in the church, and you better be thanking God that they found God. Because if they didn't have a fear of God, if they have a fear of going to hell, they might have offed you. How many pastors and preachers come from a history of crime, and then they go to prison and they find Jesus or Allah, and they come back and they're different people? But hey man, don't push him. You know what he used to be? Don't push him. Leave him alone. Don't push him. That's still, he's Pastor Smith right now, but 20 years ago, that was OG Bobby Johnson. You know what I mean? Don't push him. Leave him alone. You know what I mean? So one of the things I was on Instagram and there's this woman. I don't follow her. I don't know why she keeps popping up, but she starts talking. She just degrades men. It's like somebody puts that in my algorithm to annoy me, but it's comical. And one of the things that women do, these modern women today, um, F men. We don't need them. Young Hollywood, salute. We don't need them. F men. Don't need no man. I'm a boss. I got my own bag. And they're encouraging other women, get your own bag. But last show, do you remember me saying, what's wrong with that young lady talking about, smash your youth away. When you get older, just get baptized and God will forgive you. That's the kind of that's the kind of information these women are giving these young ladies, because they're not as successful as they may want you to think they are. Mentally, they're lost. And I just said, hurt people, right? What kind of sound advice is she giving these women? Smash your youth away, so by the time you're in your mid-30s, if you're lucky enough not to have contracted a STD, if you're lucky enough, if you're lucky enough to not spit out a baby, King Corleone, my brother, what up? If you're lucky enough not to spit out a baby, then, you're all right. Bill D, what's good? Is that the kind of advice you want your daughter or your niece taking? Smash your youth away. And when you get a certain age and you're tired, just get baptized and you'll be all right. And that same woman was mad when she was, chasing around drug dealers and falling victim to what the dude with the nicest car said. She's mad at the dudes that made proper decisions for not wanting to deal with them. Mrs. Shelton, my brother, salute. Strange stuff, right? Auntie Jenny, salute. Happy New Year. Strange stuff. This is a strange world we live in. So, we talk about passport bros. Leave the passport bros out of this, all right? Let's talk about the men that are just sick of it. Because men today aren't running away from marriage. They're running away from divorce. The OG, the real OG, Mr. Mont, salute. They're running away from divorce. So, something popped up and I read it. It was a Bible passage. It was Isaiah 4, verse 1. And I just looked up and I said, why is it? It was just sitting there and I was looking and I read it and it was fresh off me having my fill of these panels. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. And I look up and I start reading. Isaiah 4, verse 1. Now, listen, I don't have no Bible badge. I'm not like a pastor or minister, but certain things fall in my lap and it's meant for me to read. And I just start reading. Let me read this, y'all. And 7 women shall take hold of one man. Automatically, I was like, huh? Read it again. And 7 women shall take hold of one man in that day, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own clothes. Only let us be called by your name. Take away our reproach. Can I ask y'all a question? What does that mean? Yeah, Auntie Jenny, that podcast, it was dreadful. Y'all heard what I read? What do you think that means? Want me to read it again? I'll read it again. Because I read it and I stared at it. And I said, what is going on? And 7 women shall take hold of one man. 7 women shall take hold of one man in that day, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own clothes. Only let us be called by your name. Take away our reproach. And I looked at that and I stared and I stared and I stared and I stared and I stared. Rashad, what up? And I said, you know what? Let me send this link to my brother Focus Ball. Now, this is on the outside looking in, and I'm no expert. I sent it, bro. Now, look, I'm reading that, and y'all know I like to keep it simple here. I said, wait a minute. That sounds like those women. I might be looking too deep, but those women were living their life and things went bad and they found out that they needed what in their life? A man. And somehow, these women outnumber the men. But in that day and age, for whatever the reason was, and we're going to get to that reason, Charlene, salute. We're going to get to that reason. Jose Diaz, salute. Whatever that man provided, they needed because they couldn't provide it themselves. And I'm not even talking about sexual gratification, because that's what these women bring up all the time. They need a man that's over 6 feet tall with a six-pack and above, or 6 inches in the pants and above. That's what they say. All I heard was physical qualities. Because now listen, I said physical, now 6 figures. The average man doesn't make 6 figures. But if that's a requirement, Anthony, what up? If that's a requirement, do you care how he accumulates that money? Oh, I sent it to Focus, but what email you want me to send it to? You got like 2 of them. Which one you want me to send it to, bro? Let me know. While the brother sends me that. Oh, okay. The Focus Ball. Okay, I'll do that right now. Give me 1 second, family. Ah, there you go. All right, cool. I sent it. There you go. Mac in the South, my brother. So let me read it. Let me read this other one. This is there's different verses of it. In that day, 7 women will take hold of one man and say, we will eat our own food and provide our own clothes. Only let us be called by your name. Take away our disgrace. Disgrace. Wow. And there's a definition. What does Isaiah 4 verse 1 mean? My brother Focus Ball, you in the building.
Salute, my brother Drew. How you feeling?
I'm good, brother. Now I know you're well versed in the word. Now I'm no expert, but I saw this verse. I was literally sitting down somewhere and I looked up and saw it. It was written on a paper, like hanging off of a wall, and I looked at it. And I'm saying, I was just watching these god-awful panels. I'm not calling them awful. I'm just saying I was getting exhausted watching it. And I'm like, why am I watching this? And I sat back and I looked up and I'm reading. I said, that's a Bible verse. And it was sitting there the whole time. And I'm looking and I said, what does that say? And I looked and I said, yo, And my point is, ladies and gentlemen, this verse pretty much applies to what you see going on today. Don't you hear our sisters say there's a shortage of good men?
Yep. And you know, I was literally saying that today. Sorry to cut you off, but
Where?
Exactly what you're saying. First off, I said to myself earlier, hold on. The type of men women say they want, those are far and few.
Yeah.
You're going to have to start sharing. Because the type of man that really should be with a woman is capable of attracting and handling all of them. That's the one you want.
Yeah.
A Jamaican once said, women want something valuable. Women don't want things that nobody else wants. They want valuable things. That's why name brands exist.
Let me ask you a question. In this verse, doesn't it sound like these women are settling?
We'll put it like this. There's a lot of layers to that verse, but what it's talking about is to answer that question, yes, but it's for the man and those men.
It's for a purpose, is it not? Not just for I'm settling because I can't get nothing else. It's settling because there's a necessity in me settling, right?
So to go over exactly what that's talking about, Isaiah is a prophet. That's the first thing we got to remember. So what Isaiah sees is for the future, right? Most of Isaiah's work was concerning things that would come later on. That particular one is talking about Judgment Day. So it's not here yet, but it's coming. That's the direction it's going in. Now, what it's saying is, if you continue to read that whole part of Isaiah, it tells you that this is actually for a specific group of people too. The men that are being referred to here, because if you read on, it's men of Israel. It's not just any one random man. It's a specific group of people. The whole prophecy that's talking about is that Israel is a race of people who right now are at the bottom of society and are being mistreated. Every race, every country hates them. But when the Lord comes, when Jesus comes and takes them out of the land of their captivity, which you can read Isaiah 14, which it goes on to explain the same exact thing you're reading, right? When Jesus comes and takes his people out of the land of their captivity, he will turn away their reproach. And in that day, all the different nations that scorned you will grab onto you and want to be you. They want your name. They want to be called by your name. All those women that look, put it like this, the place that you see how black people are financially, we don't really have power like that.
Right.
Essentially, it's a prophecy about the people who are at the bottom and are not wanted. It's gonna flip. Here's how this applies to black people.
Okay, go ahead.
Look at every other race of people, right? Asians marry Asians, Indians marry Indians, and you never see them going online with beef conversations with each other. Like this whole men versus women thing, it's kind of like a black thing, or at least with the face of it. Yeah. At least with the face of it, right? So the black man, where the black man is at, we're not necessarily at the most desirable place in society because we don't hold any economic power.
That's very important. Right? Yeah.
So when Jesus comes, he's flipping the tables. His people are at the bottom of society. Nobody wants them. Nobody wants to be called after their name. Man, I dated white women who broke up with me because their family members are like, you're with a black dude. No, in that day, it's going to change. They're going to want your last name because you're a holy people. And it is through you that the world is blessed.
So let's stop right there. So are we seeing form of that through the behavior of us today as you see it. Because I'm seeing a shift. The show that I did last week with that woman on stage saying they were being taken advantage of by drug dealers back then, and they're mad at the men that they turned away in high school. 15 years later, they mad at them because they basically didn't give them any play, didn't give them any rhythm.
And look where they're running, and look what they're looking for now.
And thank you. That's my point. So there was something that I saw in this passage when I saw it. And I said, holy crap, literally, holy crap. This verse, in a sense, applies to all of these panels. That woman was standing on stage fuming mad at a meme about a guy that says, ew, like that the shorty told him back in 95, ew, I don't want you. And now it's 2005, and she's like, okay, I'm mature now. And he's saying, no, I'm a CEO now. Ew, I don't want you with your kids out of wedlock.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And now she's looking for someone to clean up her mess. So when I'm reading this thing, 7 women take away my reproach or disgrace.
Yep.
And I want to be around you because not only do you have your stuff together, but you are marching in the eyes of God.
Exactly.
And now they see the value in you. But as a man of God, you also have to protect your own castle, yourself, your peace. Because these women are looking for safety now. These women that say they don't need no man. You know what else is popping up on my algorithms on YouTube and on Instagram? These women that were boss chicks, but now they evicted, living in their car. You know what I mean? A lot of that's popping up. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Damn.
These were boss chicks 3 years ago. They bought homes. They have businesses. Now they're living in their car. Some of them have kids, right? Can't pay the rent. This is real stuff that is popping up on my algorithm. When TikTok, I don't have TikTok, but those TikTok videos are being uploaded by other content creators saying, yo, have you seen these chicks? And then they play another video of her 4 years ago. Oh, I'm a boss chick. I make 6 figures and da-da-da-da-da-da. And now she in her car. She's a whole different color because from crying, eyes are swollen. Oh, I need help. Oh, my baby daddy don't want to pay no child support, and he won't even take the babies. Yeah, because you beat him up in court, and he's been paying his child support, and you're homeless now, and the court still don't want to give him access to his child. So he's paying his child support, but it's not enough for you to pay rent. And now you're having all these problems. These chicks are all over the internet crying now. And then again, I look at that passage. It was hanging on a board. And I'm like, yo, I just got done watching an hour's worth of various panels and screaming and hollering. And I'm like, oh my God. And I'm looking up and I say, yo, the Bible is definitely your map. And I'm reading Isaiah 4, verse 1, in that first verse. And I know it's deeper than that. But that first verse was powerful because now I said, man, all these women talking about not settling. All these chicks were talking about not settling, and they got their own businesses in their house. Now they evicted, living in the car. And it looks like they need a man. They're not saying I'm going to connect with my girlfriend and shack up with her because her girlfriend know not to put up with that crap. They need what? A man.
And watch this. The type of man that I bet you long.
Wait, you broke up, brother.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Yeah, say that again.
Yeah. So, and the type of man they say they want. That the athlete, the superstar, 6 foot and change millionaire athlete that they want. You think he gonna just be with you?
No. And you gotta
accept. And I bet you
that.
They won't care.
You gotta accept. But you know what though?
She gonna be 1 of 7.
Now my thing is this. I don't know every athlete, But the word is, you know, a lot of them, you know, it's infidelity. I understand. But a lot of women, from what I understand, they just bite the bullet. Oh, I know every
Yeah,
time you go to Kansas City, he got this one chick he see. But you
yeah.
know what? My name is on the marriage certificate. All
And you
right,
get the
that $50
house.
million he's making in the next 3 years, I get a portion of that. And he might even have another child in the whole of the city. As long as they don't come to me, you know what I'm saying? If he kicks the bucket, this empire is mine. So I'm just gonna play my position. A lot of women will say, hey man, that's not right. And guess what? It's not. It's not. But what I am saying is I'm looking at this verse, and you see a bunch of women saying, you know what? I have these standards, and it's what I wanted, but it might not be what I need. And now they're all competing for the man that walks in the eyes of God. And that's why what I'm saying, when
Yep.
he's saying, oh man, there's men all in my DM. Yeah, those aren't the dudes that's in your DM is not the guys you really want to marry. The dude you meet in the club is not the guy you want to marry. It's not. Women know good men when they see them, which is why a lot of women, listen, and I'm just going to say it, man. A lot of women don't mind being the side chick to a dude that's married. If he's a good dude, they don't mind. What do you think the poly lifestyle is? I was just talking about that. We was talking about She's Gotta Have It, on Nerds on Culture, me and Stormy. That wasn't poly. She was just confused and not knowing, she didn't know her self-worth. And it manifested with how she was very promiscuous with her behavior. But by the time she buckled down and decided on one man, he was already far gone. Now, poly is more about survival. Sexual gratification is last on the totem pole. That's a whole other show.
Facts.
But
3 incomes.
yeah, 3 incomes. You paying off bills. If
You ain't only no
incomes,
babysitter. No
right.
babysitter necessary.
If you have 3
Raise all the
incomes,
family.
and all of y'all are making $70,000-$80,000 a year, and you have 3 incomes, y'all, no one should be in debt. Everyone should have an 800 credit score, and y'all should be able to take real vacations, and all the kids should be paid for and taken care of.
Yep.
You dig? That's what poly's like. Sexual gratification is once the bills are paid and everyone's happy and got a 6 figures of savings in the bank account, then you can get together and have all the slamming you want. Yeah, that's it. You know what I mean? But it's a business. That's a business. Poly is a business. You understand?
Marriage is a business.
It is. It is. So when I'm looking at this verse, I'm like, man, these chicks, when the dust settled, forget about what they wanted. They're going about what they needed. Because if I read the passage correctly, there was a shortage of men because they've gone to war and things of that nature. And don't I always say women outnumber men on this world like 8-1? You know what I mean?
I heard it was 7, but I'll take 8.
It might be. And the reason why I'm giving them 8 because there's so many Batiman out here, you don't know who's who.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll give it an 8. You understand? So with that being said, I believe we're coming up on that time where women are now seeing, because I'm looking on the internet, these things are popping up in my algorithm. We're coming on that time where women are saying, you know what? How many videos y'all seen? You know what? I'm tired of being the boss chick. I'm tired of making my own money. I'm tired.
Yep.
I'm ready to be a stay-at-home mom, a stay-at-home wife. Because women are basically not built to do certain things. And working like how men work is not one of them. So, you know, now we're in a position where it's like, yo, I think they're waking up.
Yeah, it was listen, Drew, I don't know if you agree with me on this, but I believe that while we're on the subject of the Bible, right? Mm-hmm. I believe that it's going to sound crazy. And I know, look, my mom is a working woman. I'm not trying to insult no working women. But I believe that the devil started a war and encouraged women to get into the workplace and then hit them with feminism. And that's how we got to where we at right now.
Of course.
What was it, World War II?
Yeah, that famous picture with the
Yeah,
woman
with the
flexing.
bandana.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was the start
yeah.
of the propaganda.
They went to the
That's what
workplace
started it.
because they had to.
Yeah, because they had to, and then, but why did they have to? Because they were all fighting a war, and the devil was selling weapons to both sides to start a war that America didn't even need to be in, because propaganda got. But that's a subject for another day.
Well, I mean, they broke up the American household. We spoke about this.
Yep.
That was the way that's the way you take down the country. And it was almost 100 years of work. But they
Yep.
finally broke up the American household, and it's not exclusive to black people. It's white people too, because white folk are going through the same thing that black folk, as far as relationships and marriage is going through. Marriage is down, divorce is up. We're in a position now where we have to. We're fighting to get mandatory DNA testing, because
Yep.
I forgot the percentage, but out of 5 births, like 2 kids don't belong, are not biologically belonging to the damn father. So you got that going on. It's crazy, man. That's why I was pro-family. I am pro-family. Kevin Samuels was pro-family, but we've lost our way. But I want to focus on this Bible passage and how it pertains to what I'm seeing here, which is disgusting. This is disgusting. And it is kind of like I told you so. Because I'm looking at this Bible passage and 7 women are saying, you know what, F that. You're a man of Christ. We're going to come to you, cook, clean, because we need you.
Yeah. We can do whatever you want.
Yep. You don't need no man. If it turns into Red Dawn on American soil for real, ain't no women going to save us. It's going to be us in the trenches.
This is Judgment Day, so Judgment Day is a bloody day. So you're quite right.
And I'm watching these things, bro. I'm watching these women crying. I just saw a video, and shout out to Jezebel. He reviewed this video. This woman, living in her car, can't pay her rent, and got 3 baby daddies. What are you doing?
That's horrible math.
It doesn't make sense. Not one of those dudes you could settle down with and rest your head somewhere. What is going on?
That just tells you about her.
It tells you everything you need to know about her. And then again, I look at this Bible passage and I said, wait a minute, why am I seeing this? It's a message. So I read it. I took a picture of it and I put it in. Look, let me read this definition. What does Isaiah 4 verse 1 mean? Scholars suggest this verse belongs at the end of Isaiah chapter 3, since it completes Isaiah's description of what will happen to the proud and wealthy women of Jerusalem and Judah. Isaiah has written that all the ornaments of their beauty will be taken away by the Lord. The foreign invaders who kill and carry off their husbands will leave them behind, bald and wearing sackcloth, and the brand of the army, the brand of the enemy. A brand in this context meaning the mark of the skin, which symbols like burning, like when you burn cattle. Yep. Some men, however, will survive the battles and be left behind when the best and the brightest of Judah are carried off into captivity. Many more women will be left behind, though their husbands have been killed, along with perhaps their children. Let me stop right there. Your thoughts on what I read?
Yeah, it sounds spot on, bro. Let me say, I didn't realize how right you were until that point. Because here's the thing, nothing is new under the sun. Yes, because when you continue to read Isaiah, is when you get to chapter 14, you realize that it's talking about the final judgment. But this happened to Judah 3 times, dog. There's a bunch of times in the Bible where God is talking about how the people are moving, and he's like, yo, I'm not feeling what you're doing right now. Cut it out, or it's slavery. You're gonna get the Babylonians gonna come take you, and y'all gonna be enslaved. And they won't listen. And then the Babylonians come in, kill the men, do whatever they want to the women, take the rest into slavery, and then God has mercy on them, brings them back to their land, and then they do the same ish again. In the case of the women, as it's being mentioned here, there is several times where God talks about like putting down the jewelry and the ornaments and whatnot and their decorations. There is many passages where it mentions that. Basically, these are Jezebels. There's something known as the Jezebel spirit in the Bible, right? Jezebel is a woman that tries to take power from the man. She does not want to submit. With all due respect, most women are Jezebels in relationships. Any woman
modern women today, based off this ideology.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what a Jezebel is, and I encourage everyone to look this up. In the Bible, Jezebel seduces the king out of his power and pretty much makes the king into a beta male. If you look at, a pastor described this to me like this. He said, God's people are lions. The devil's people are hyenas, right? A Jezebel is a hyena. If you look at a lion will have a few lioness, right? And those are all his kids. And the lioness will go out and get some food for him, and he just sits around and he's chilling, and they let him chill. But as soon as there's a threat, he gets up and he murks that threat, and his women will be down with him. That's how lions live. Right? But even though a lioness is so vicious and powerful, she still submits to the lion. Right? But in a hyena pack, the hyena woman is the biggest one. She run the show. In fact, she run the show so much that she has a dick.
Jesus.
And she gives birth through that pseudo penis, right? And all the children she gives birth to, that's not his kids. The hyena women are loud and aggressive, and they're bigger, and they bark off the men. Once they get pregnant, they bark off the men, and they find another man and bully him into raising it.
That's crazy.
Doesn't that sound like these women?
Yeah, bro.
Bully him into doing it. So those women are hyenas. The hyena is the Jezebel spirit, trying to usurp authority. The reason they ended up in that position because they were not able to submit to begin with. They had issues with authority, and that the whoredom is an act of defiance. It's my body. I can do whatever I want. It's power. There are women who erroneously believe that having a hit list is a good thing. No. Low body count better, but it's a power trip. They use it. The ornaments and the decoration is a means of attraction. And attraction, then and the Bible talks about it, how they ensnare you. And then pretty much they're a pit for fornication. They're a pit for the destruction of many men.
Let me ask you a question, brother.
Yes.
Was the scarlet letter treatment for real once upon a time?
You have to enlighten me. I don't recall. What's the scarlet letter treatment?
Anybody in the chat know what that is? I know that was a movie. I think it's pretty much you get shamed for being a smut.
Oh, yeah.
The letter on you. To let the town know that you was out here spreading your cheeks. So if that was a real thing, because I heard it was a real thing.
I've heard of stuff like that. But
I would say yes. Okay, so that's a real thing. Full counterbox said yes, it was. Okay, thank you so much for that. So if that was a real thing, don't we talk about today we need to bring back shaming? I mean, we're not stoning anybody. You know, we ain't hitting people with bricks. Unless you're that chick that allegedly took a brick to the face. She lied, but you know, we're not stoning. What was her name? I forgot. She was African too. It's crazy. Bringing back shaming so that we can get right. You understand? That's sort of biblical also. Rhoda, that was her name, Tim. Yeah, thank you. Bringing back shaming so that you don't misbehave, because this behavior has been redefined. The chat, do you agree? Behavior has been redefined. I've seen those pop the balloon knockoff shows where a woman turned down a dude because his body count wasn't high enough. She said, "How many people you been with?" He said, "I only been with." He was like in his 30s. He said, "I only been with 3 girls in my life." She said, She popped her balloon. She's like, "No, you need to be with like at least 100, 120."
Oh my
Man,
God.
I couldn't find the mouse fast enough to click that off.
Bro, what?
Yeah,
That's that. Nah,
yeah.
they told her to say that.
Did
Nah.
you see the white chick who wanted to break the record with sleep with most dudes in a day?
Yeah,
Like
back.
1,020?
Oh no, I didn't hear that. I thought it was at 300. Damn, someone
No, no,
broke
no.
her.
It was a G.
God.
It was a G, and it was an Airbnb, and people skeeted up the living room, and the dude that owned it was pissed off. Imagine coming in to clean up your Airbnb and you slipping on the floor, and it's like, oh my God, I can feel them crawling.
Say, dog, I ain't going anywhere near that place.
I'm burning it to the ground with them in it. I mean, this is crazy. What about there was that, and there's one more situation that was like weird to me. This dude didn't have enough bodies, and then the chick, she was sitting on one of these podcasts, and the fella asked, your kid is about 10 years old, and we know, kids are in tune with online, and you're on OnlyFans and you're making a lot of money. What happens if he comes home and says, Mom, all my friends in the lunchroom got naked pictures of you and they're clowning me? You know what her response was? He can cry in the Mercedes. Now, here's my thing. My brother iRock said 1,057. Jesus Christ. Unbelievable. That's crazy. Now, check this out. Can I ask you a question? She said he can cry in the Mercedes. Does he want his mother, or does he want that damn... What 8-year-old kid cares about a damn Mercedes? And if he does, that's taught to him. Just like I see these kids walking around with baby Jordans. You think a kid cares about Jordans?
Yeah.
So we're in a very, very weird place in history right now, where right is wrong and wrong is worse. You understand? So these are things that I'm thoroughly disgusted at. And these are the women that have the biggest megaphone, and the women that are not as famous as them justify their promiscuous behavior by women that are running around online. And that is running out, because I'm turning around and seeing these girls having nervous breakdowns for having a high body count. How you feel right now with 20, 25, 20? How you feel at 25 is not how you're going to feel when you're 30. When you're 30, from 30 to 40, you're going to feel totally different. Your outlook on life is going to be totally different. I promise you. I laugh at how I used to think when I was 18. I laugh at how I used to think when I was 25. By the time I got 30, I was like, uh-oh. What the hell? And I'm exceptionally blessed to be where I am in life. So I look at what these people say. When I see a 30-plus-year-old woman talking about, I don't want no babies. Cool, you might not. I don't care if I have a high body count. Wait a minute. But then get mad when she can't get a man, and then they'll tell her girlfriends, well, all men cheat. No, they cheated on you.
Yep.
But this is all relevant to this Bible passage that I read. Between the stuff I see online, all these chicks that were bosses just 3 years ago, they bought homes during the housing bubble, right? Mm-hmm. Now that bubble done burst. Now you're online screaming that you're living in that Mercedes, but you don't have a mortgage anymore, and your credit's in the toilet. You're living out your car. A lot of y'all are mothers. You don't know what to do, and you don't know where to turn. You can't turn to any of the dudes you were smashing, because you told them we just smashing and passing. I live in my house. You can't stay here. Okay. Now you can't go to them. And then through all of those things, I don't watch this for an hour. I sat back and I looked up at this board, and I saw Isaiah 4 verse 1. What are the odds?
God talking to you, Drew.
There it is, bro. There it is. Cooking with the champ. Salute, Dirt Gang Boss. Pull counter. What up?
That was some beautiful insight. I gotta be honest. It's deeper
bro,
than
I can't make that up.
There's still more connections, man.
Yeah. I can't. I was sitting there. I was literally getting a headache watching this stuff, and I said, "Man, I'm gonna turn this off." And I put on put on a 80s music video or something, and I sat back and I just went just like this. I looked. I said, what does that say? And I went to Google and I said, oh, whoa, what are the odds? And I say things like time reveals all truth. Those boss chicks are lonely. And guess what they need? They ain't saying they need their girlfriend's help, because I thought they had fellow boss chicks to help them. What do you think they need? They need a man like Isaiah.
Basically. Isaiah was a crazy ass dude, though. Like, Isaiah was butt naked on the street for like years. That was a prophecy that God was going to strip everyone in Judah ass naked and send them into slavery if they don't change their ways.
Damn.
But they didn't get it. So when you see a homeless man walking around naked, it might be God using a prophet.
Well, I ain't gonna go that far. I live in New York. I see that a lot. I see that a lot, man.
I know, bro.
But I ain't gonna say no prophet. You know, I always used to say that mofo talking to himself. What if all the way in California there's somebody answering him? We just don't hear it.
Yo, you never know, though.
I'm saying he's walking to him like, man, I'm tired of you, goddamn. What the? And his boy is all the way in California. What you tired of me for? It's like we're crazy for not hearing him. He's really communicating with somebody on the other side of the damn country.
Facts.
That's crazy. But let me get back to this song. It says, okay. Because of the nature of this era, those women will be left destitute and humiliated. They no longer have a husband and cannot return to the homes of their fathers. Single women had no standing in society at this time, especially if they had children. Some of them may even have had children as a result of SA by the enemy invaders, making their rejection by the community even more intense. Now, those were baby mamas, some of them by way of SA. But guess what? Guess what? The SA don't happen if you get the back of the men that are going to war for you. Now let me calm this down for a second. Let me put it in a better perspective. Your job as a wife, when your man walks through that door that he's paying for, even in modern day society, it's usually a two-parent household that y'all are paying for, but he makes you safe. If a robber busts through that door, he's in the first line. He might die, but he's going to protect you the best way he can. Foreign enemies come over here. They don't draft women. They draft the men. The women got to fall back. The women and the kids and the old people. You understand? When he comes home, you're supposed to be his peace. Don't be barking on him. You're supposed to, it's like NASCAR. You drive the car in a circle a million times. When you pull into the pit, change the tires, fuel them up, get them back out of here. That's what you're supposed to do. Come home. How was your day, honey? That was rough. I won't talk about it. That's okay. Dinner's here. You know what I'm saying? Got your TV on. You know what I'm saying? Got your little Corona here. Drink up. Talk when you're ready. I'll run your shower when you need it. Fuel him up. Rub his back. Because he got to get out and do it again tomorrow. And he does it without question. Why? Because he's a man. Don't nobody feel sorry for men. Because if the man's not around to protect you, you can't protect yourself. I don't care if you're G.I. Jane. That was what you call fantasy. What was the other one with J-Lo? It was called Enough. I call it science fiction. That dude was kicking her ass. And she took a few Taibo boxing classes and she got him back at the end of the damn movie. Shut up. That's science fiction. Cut it out. This is stupid. It's a well-oiled machine. You take care of us so we could take care of you in the land that you walk on. But you walking around a boss chick when things get rough, man, you miss a few mortgage payments, you living in your car, you crying on TikTok. There's your boss chick. And now that chick got on stage and got mad because the dude made a decision. Ew, I'm a CEO. I don't want to deal with you now. Why? You wasn't SA'd. You made a choice to get ran through by the drug dealers in school and after school. And now you expect these men to clean up the mess? No, you're supposed to take care of these brothers. Ridiculous, man. Paul Counter says, in these times, men will need to seek God to get back on track. We won't make it without divine intervention. We have lost our way. You're not lying, brother. You're not lying at all. And I'm not here to point the finger. I'm a man. I can speak from a man's perspective. What I do see is chickens coming home to roost as far as these boss women. If you're a boss chick and you make 6 figures and look, okay, I can't tell you nothing. But what the hell are all these damn short videos about on TikTok? I was glad TikTok was going for a little while because I was tired of hearing these chicks' mouths. It's like every time I turn around, they're screaming out, oh, I'm in my car and baby daddy won't answer the phone. And because y'all ain't ish. But y'all cash at me at big lip over my hips. $. Shut up. You was just a boss 3 years ago. What happened? And this is what we're dealing with. And I'm looking at all this stuff and I'm like, what's happening? And I sat back and looked up and I saw Isaiah 4 verse 1. And I'm reading these things right here. I'm like, man, war and men have died and the enemy came in. How come they didn't fight off the enemy? Oh, I'm sorry, they're women. They can't do but so much fighting. It ended in SA and children being born as a result of SA, and they're being rejected because their bodies have been compromised, where this wouldn't have happened if they enabled the men to be the best men that they can be. Drug dealers don't sign up to the military. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. Let me send this other link to my brother. Hold on, let me send this link. Get my other brother on here. Yeah, Cooking with Champ, man, bro. 24 hours, people were spazzing. I said, man, look. There were people on there. They had a lot of sponsorships. Those cats on there making look, I know someone personally that was making $7,000 a month on it. I know her personally. And she did something. They said she did something and they demonetized her. So I was talking with her. I said, yo, I know you laughing right now because they just demonetized all of America. But they brought it back. But you know, these cats ain't playing. These cats ain't playing, man. This verse was very like, it was crazy. I was like, man, what's happening here? You know what I'm saying? This is some sick stuff, man. It was funny how I was watching all of these things, and then this came about. It's incredible, man. It's incredible, man. It is incredible. Wait for my brother iRock to pull up. I sent him a text. If you ain't get the text, bro, I sent you the link, good brother. You know what I mean? Isaiah. Let me go back and see what else it says. These women are now so desperate to be made legitimate in their society through having a husband that they will compete for whatever men are left available. Oh my word. Hey man, Andre, what up, man?
Straight genius.
Ain't that crazy?
Yeah.
Hey,
all
man.
the men.
You can't make that up, man. So when the options get slim, now they want to wake up. They need protection. All of a sudden, that $1 million home you in, what's your $1 million home worth when you actually hear someone trying to kick your door down? You're looking for a man now.
This happened in the past, and now it's about to happen again.
And that's what I'm saying, brother. It's happening again. Listen, I know of these verses, but I don't know them verbatim. I can't recite them off my head verbatim. I can't do that. I just so happened to look up at this board and I said, what's that? And I started reading. I said, yo, wait a minute. I was just reading all of this and this was there the whole time. I said, yo, see, that's God talking. It's God talking, man. And I read it and I said, we dealing with this right now. Not on as a violent level. We're not in the middle of we are at war to a degree, but it's more of a war amongst each other. Society somehow has enabled women to say, you don't need no man. And then you got a bunch of people on social media that make money arguing about it every day because they got personal issues. And it's a soft version of what's happening, but the results will be equally as devastating. And that's a sad state of affairs, and it's frightening. It's frightening. You know, how do we fix it? I don't know, because people are angry and they don't want to listen. You know, it's horrible. It's horrible. It's a scary.
You should read on, Drew.
What's up?
It gets scarier. You should read on, but there's a solution. Read down to where it says, "Wash away the filth."
Wash it. My brother, oh wow.
Yo, what's up?
My brother, I rock in the building. What's good, good brother? How you feel?
Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings to you and folks, Paul. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Blessings, I rock.
Nah, it was crazy when I just heard y'all speaking on that because speaking about God and God speaking to you and everything else because I was watching a video today about veterans like in Afghanistan and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, you know how we did the one show, that real long show I told you about my past and everything, right?
Right.
So there was a bunch of veterans on there talking about how they got this thing, it's like Baka or Batabazi. And what it's called is like the dancing boys over there in Afghanistan. And a lot of soldiers said that they saw things going on and they was told not to get involved and don't say nothing because that's their culture. And if they do, they can go to prison for it.
Damn.
Yeah, like they say that, and apparently it's their culture over there that women are for procreation, but boys are for entertainment.
Oh Lord.
And when I saw that, it was like or when you said what you said, it hit me because, like I said, I've never been the most religious person. Spiritual, yes. Religious, no. But when my dad passed, and then the Air Force ended up sending me home, I believe that was a reason. That right there is a reason why somebody bigger than me made things happen the way they happened, and that's why I didn't end up overseas. Like I didn't end up in the desert like that, because had I seen that, I'd have went to prison.
I feel you, brother. I feel you, brother. There's just certain things you can't sit back and let happen. You dig?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Oh Lord, bro. Oh man. Goodness, man. This world is crazy. And I see you, Night Train. You know why I stayed away from a lot of passages in the Bible? And I'm gonna be very honest with y'all. I've read certain things a long time ago that was so correct in which the space that we're living in right now that it effing scared me. And I didn't want to go any further because it was scary. It was scary. I was like, what the fuck? This is happening now? I'm like, all right. I won't be able to go to
It's
sleep tonight. It's like reading a horror film.
like you saw what just happened on the news recently, right?
Which one?
So apparently in like in Turkey, nudity out in the open is frowned upon, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this dude, him and his wife, he was filming OnlyFans. He was helping his wife film OnlyFans content,
See what I mean?
and was filming his wife get smashed out by like 100 dudes.
Come on, bro.
I swear to God. And then all of a sudden, like, you know,
Cucks
it got like the cops got word of it and literally arrested him that day.
They arrested him?
And her.
Oh, okay, I was about to say, why would they arrest him and not her? That was weird.
Yep.
And they were in Turkey?
Yep.
Was this done in public or done in the crib?
No, it was done at the house.
The older I grow, the more I understand, and the less F's I give. But I also understand that this is the end, man. This is.
Yeah, but what you just said a second ago about different passages in the Bible, like tripping you out and about reading what was written then and like what's going on now. Like okay, okay, for example, there's a passage like I remember reading a passage where it says that if a man beats his slave and the slave dies, then the man is to be punished. But if the man beats his slave and the slave awakens after 2 days, the man is not to be punished, for the slave is his money.
Now, where's that?
Oh, give me a second. I can actually find the passage for you. Give me 1 second. Hold up.
Focus Boy, you know about that? You know about that passage? That sound, that sounds familiar. But is that something that's misconstrued?
I'd have to read it over proper.
Exodus chapter 21, verse 21.
What does it say?
Matter of fact, I'll read it again. Hold up. The let me go open it up. Let me find it. Trying to remember how they. Oof, don't do that.
I know, Shawa. It's just scary. I'm scary. Because you know what? When you read something like that, and
Okay,
it's giving you the outcome, it's frightening.
Okay, I'm sorry. It's Exodus chapter 21, verse 20 and 21. This is the English Standard Version. It says that when a man strikes his slave, male or female, with a rod, and the slave dies under his hand, he shall be avenged. But if the slave survives a day or two, he is not to be avenged, for the slave is his money.
Can someone educate me on what the hell that is? Anybody? That doesn't sound good.
So, first and foremost, that's the book of Exodus, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's when they left slavery, right?
I believe so.
Right. So, slavery wasn't exactly not permitted. You get what I'm saying? Like, motherfuckers had slaves.
Yeah.
It is what it is. There's no colorful way to dance around it. Pretty much, people were gonna do what they were gonna do. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
If you have conflict with somebody, right? And you go to war and they damage your stuff and you damage their stuff and whatnot, to the victor goes the spoils. There's a debt that needs to be repaid. That's where slavery comes in. Slavery was usually a result of someone losing a war, right?
Okay.
Now, you should probably read that on and continue. These are laws specifically for Israelites on how to govern themselves. Because in many cases, people were going to do what they wanted to do, and they did things that God didn't necessarily want them to do. But God is like, if you're going to do that, do it like this.
Right.
So, for example, there's another passage and I'll have to find that, but I'm not. It's like 11 o'clock at night, and I wasn't prepared to dive into this specifically. But it tells you that there's a length of time that if, let's say, you're gonna beef with somebody, and now, all right, I'm gonna take this dude as a slave. There's a length of time that you do it for, and you actually give him land and cattle,
Like
that
an
he can go
indentured
off
servant.
and start. Pretty much, you give him his
Okay.
own stuff that he can go off and
Right,
start his
right,
stuff after his debt is repaid.
right. It was viewed different as it goes on, but you know, as black people, we hear the word slave,
Listen,
and we
he is
automatically go
vengeful.
somewhere with it.
He's
Right.
both great and terrible. Understand
Yeah.
that he's both great and terrible. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like men of God didn't straight murk dudes. Listen, bro, someone touched someone's sister, and a man of God, the first anointed man in the Bible, who Jesus is descended from, went on a murdering spree, killing men, women, and children that had nothing to do with it.
Damn.
That was counted as righteousness. You want to know why? Because they were related to them, and they kind of supported that. They were all on board with that idea. They didn't really care. So because they were in that same spirit, it was judgment for that spirit. If you show numbers up, there's a whole that really extends into the police and whatnot, and being in the same spirit when judgment comes for your number. But remember who executes judgment. Sometimes the person who is going through whatever he's going through kind of did something to be in that position. You get what I'm saying?
No
And
doubt.
sometimes people come up out of that. For example, Joseph was sold into slavery by his own brothers, but out of it, he became filthy rich, and he saved millions of people's lives.
Damn. Much to learn I have.
Most definitely.
Much to learn I have. You know, this is why I say I enjoy saying I don't know everything. I'm here to listen and learn. You know what I mean? I just wanted to I just felt it was important to do this show as it pertains to what we're dealing with now. Because I was getting upset with all these videos being uploaded with these sisters being homeless. And I said, what the fuck is going on? I mean, seriously, homeless? What's happening? And they were talking about, and then there was people digging up on them like, no, she was a boss chick 3 years ago. This is her. And she was on this panel talking down on men and good for her. I'm like, all right, look, I know you're mad. All right. But being homeless in this day and age is not the best, man. It's not the best. I just want to know what happened, because I know that she's in a car, snot bubbles, and at any point we could be reading about her. Someone could kick her window in and do what they want with her, and then she's dead on the side of the road. That we don't want. There's still a side of me that, look, man, we need to protect our sisters, and sometimes we need to protect them from themselves. That's why I'm pro-family. Stop saying you're a boss chick and you don't need no man. Look, all you are is a hard worker, and you have a great brain. How about partnering up with a dude with an equally great brain, and y'all make great children and a great family and have a great legacy? Do that. Do that. I mean, this is crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff.
Now, what you said makes a lot of sense, and personally, I believe that all of us at one time or another probably need to be protected from ourselves, because, I know for a fact that there's been times in my life where I've definitely gone up the deep end and I probably did some shit I had no business doing. And, I needed somebody to kind of, tap me on the shoulder and be like, hey, look, you might want to be cool and kind of hang back for a little minute. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, in regards to the whole family situation and, women saying they boss chicks or whatever, I have absolutely nothing against a woman getting money. Do what you do. You know what I'm saying? Get your money, get your bag, get your education, do what you got to do. But I won't say this goes for all women, but a small majority of those women who, oh, I'm a boss chick, I'm this, I'm that, I'm doing whatever, and I don't need no man. Mm-hmm. The minute something cracks off, the minute somebody the minute somebody jumping on their back, the minute somebody beating down their door, the minute somebody stalking them and trying to beat on them, how come ain't no man protect me? How come ain't no man help me? You just said you ain't need nobody.
That's right.
So basically, you need us when you need some protection. You need us when you needed somebody to defend you. But outside of that, you don't want us to say nothing to you. You don't want us to correct you.
A woman that can't be corrected is not the woman you want to be with. You understand? And again, I saw this verse and it caught me. It caught me. I say, yo. And I'm reading it. They're talking about being victims of war, and the male pool is limited, and they're willing to stop what they're doing to share a man. And that's literally where we are. I'm seeing women that they still have their jobs and stuff, but now they're saying, look, I'm making good money, but I'm tired all the time. I thought you was making 6 figures, you ain't need no man.
Right.
And now they're saying, yo, look, I want to be a stay-at-home wife. Man, this shit is exhausting. And that's okay. Sometimes you need to fall on your head to understand that you need a hard hat. I understand, man. I understand. We need to get back to that because I'm seeing too many of these. It was alarming. I'm seeing too many of these sisters in the cars crying for cash apps because, they got evicted, man. And I'm looking up the evicted rates. That shit is up. And how you go from I don't need no man and then I'm seeing Isaiah 4 verse 1 and I'm like, yo. And we are literally here in these weird ass days. My gosh, man. This is like, but let me talk about possible solutions real quick, man. How the hell do we fix this, y'all?
Hey, you're not gonna, I mean, you can start by your own family. You can start by teaching your own female family members and setting a better example and all that stuff, all that good old stuff. But the solution is in the rest of that passage.
Really?
Well, I mean, he tells you what he's gonna do. This battle is bigger than you and me. You get me? But things that we can do as individuals, like I said, is, well, if you got a daughter, be in her life. That's number one.
Yeah, definitely.
Raise up a better generation, create some programs that teach women, because here's the thing, you don't want to seem like an enemy to women. You get me? With people like Kevin Samuels and shows like that, people might get the impression that people who don't really sit to listen to what you're saying and just grab headlines and whatnot, they might think you're a woman hater or not. Yeah, it's craziness, So definitely bridging the gap between men and women in our daily lives. Just something like I remember recently is like, you got to talk to women like they're women, even though some of them act really aggressive and want to act like dudes. Like, you got to talk to them like they're women, because they're not going to hear you any other way. So learning how to communicate better, I think, is something that we can do as men on our part, so that we can communicate and be better leaders. I know myself, I could work on that, and then raise up better daughters.
True story, man. This is one of those situations where this verse fell in my lap, and I done been around church brothers and sisters all my life, and I've heard a bunch of stuff, and it applies to life. But I'm also in a position now where it's like, man, you know what? Literally, I'm like, what else is in there? You know what I mean? So I think what I'm gonna do, I'm going to go on a little journey and I'm going to find out what else is in there and how it applies to this modern day. So don't be surprised if one of these pep talks, I'll dedicate one of my days to a Bible passage, and I'll ask the audience, what does this mean? Because things are getting way too more curious at this point. And it's like, literally, when I got to sit back and say, what the F is going on? And this verse falls in my lap, and I'm no expert, but I'm like, this applies to what's going on today. And I'm like, no one else sees that? And then there's a handful of people like the sister Shower, like, no, that's your map. It's been telling you this whole time. So maybe now when I could slow up saying what the F's going on. If I read some of these Bible passages, I'd be like, oh, that's what this is? Okay. How does it end? Okay. My goodness, man. This is some, and I see you, Auntie Jenny. I know, Queen. I know. So don't be surprised if I start asking about these Bible passages down the line, because my curiosity is sparked. You know what I'm saying? The Bible is like the greatest story ever told. But what's crazy is how it applies to life. Makes you wonder, are we really living it? Or is it the government's job from a higher power to make sure that we live it? One of those things. That's some science fiction stuff I just threw at you. But I'm a believer, man. It's crazy, man. It was like, whoa. Yeah, you're right, Shower. Things get revealed, man. Definitely. But my wife just gave me a stink look.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna call this
Just
one.
told me she gonna punch me in my face. I don't know what I did. Maybe I left a fork in the sink. Is it because of I left a fork in the sink? Oh, you're my ass kicked. Whatever I did, I'm sorry. Get fucked up. I don't know what I did. Auntie Jenny says, Proverbs 31, verse 10 through 31 is what I measure wives by. You know what? I'm gonna look that up. I'm curious.
What was that?
Proverbs chapter 31, verse 10 through 31.
Proverbs, this right here. I don't know what I did, yo. I think I'm gonna get my ass kicked. What I do? She's going to the boot, yo. She's going to the boot. Just don't go in that closet. You know what's in the closet? Chill. Proverbs. Let me find out. I'm gonna do a Bible study once a week. I think that'll be very informative.
If you ever decide to do Bible study once a week and you want some companion, first off, let me make a recommendation. If you ever decide to do that, the best time is Saturday. And I make Bible documentaries. I would love to send you one and all that.
Okay, cool. I got it. There you go. I got it. Hey. Yeah. Yo, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna see where I'm about to get punched in my jaw. Speaking of good wives.
Have a blessed night, man. Take it
Hey,
easy.
yeah, brother, don't do that, man. You know what I'm saying? Felt like this. If mom ain't happy, ain't nobody happy.
No.
Take it easy, Irod.
Yes, sir. You too.
Bro,
God
man.
bless.
Salute to y'all, man. Much love, y'all. Yeah, man, we gonna get out of here. All right, let them know how they can find you, good brother.
My YouTube channel is pretty much my name. You just click and go straight to it. I had a link right now, but I got to wait on Drew because obviously both of our work schedules kind of go like this.
Yeah.
But like the first 2 or 3 lives that I'll try to do, I'll probably end up doing with him because I won't have the ability to do them yet. Is I'm gonna do a live install of Arch Linux and just kind of show you how it goes, and then pretty much answer any and all questions anybody has about open source software, what it is, what it entails, how it works, the whole 9 yards. And then if anybody else wants to obviously start using it or whatever, I have no problem walking through installs and telling people how to get it done. And then once I do that, then I want to start getting into topics like, security, encryption, basically two-way authentication, three-way authentication, stuff like that.
That's much needed, man. Yeah, we're gonna get up and we're gonna definitely do that. I'm gonna find a day we could dedicate to do that. Definitely. That's monster information. Focus Ball, my brother, let them know they can find you.
Y'all can find me here on YouTube, Black Martial Arts Society, or Focus Balls, the Focus Balls, or thefocusballs.com, and take your strike game to the next level and all that good stuff. Appreciate you, Drew. Much love.
Yeah, anytime. Yeah, and do not forget, sign up to my Patreon, Drew Titan, Patreon. Just put my name in there, you'll find it. I'm gonna get loose over there. I want to dedicate a day because I'm gonna do live streams over there now. I now have the technology to do live streams over there on Patreon, and I got a lot of stories. And I think my first live, I got a story to tell. It's about and this is crazy because we're talking about Bible talk right now, but I also have a history, I have a past, and I'm going to talk about my first actual experience with 2 women, because it's a hell of a story. It is.
Oh damn!
It's a hell of a story. It really is. It's gonna be on Patreon. It's totally not the YouTube. Go to my Patreon, and I'm sharing the story for a reason, y'all. It's not just gonna be over there just F-bombing and being smutty. It's a story behind it, and it's nothing that I planned, but it's the first time I had a experience with 2 women. All right, and sign up to my Patreon to get that story, man. So, man, salute to y'all. Salute to everybody in the Venmo, the Zelle, the Cash App. I'll do that live stream probably. I might do it tomorrow. If you miss it, it'll be up there. But yeah, man, come support your boy. No doubt. But yeah, man, salute to y'all, man. Much love and appreciation. And I'll be back talking this boxing talk in the morning. That sport get on my nerves, but we're abused spouses. We keep coming back for more. It's ridiculous. So, man, salute to everybody in the Venmo, the Zelle, the Cash App, the Super Chat. Y'all take it gently, man. And I'll catch y'all. All right. Peace.